Enterprise Stories is the weekly radio program that shares the experiences of successful Nigerian entrepreneurs and provides expert analysis of their success factors. Enterprise Stories, business stories of success.
Welcome to Enterprise Stories. In this episode, we will share the story of a man in the rubber business and how he was able to increase returns by 1,500% within 2 years. Stay tuned, we'll be back after this short message.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
Good evening, listeners. My name is Bayo Rotimi, your faculty on today's edition of Enterprise Stories. Today we'll be talking about financial management, a topic that I consider particularly relevant to the small and the growing business. Ultimately, it is important that every business is able to keep accurate records of all expenses. Critical challenge that a lot of small businesses make is that they do not keep records of every single item of expenditure. It is important for sound financial management, for proper record keeping, that every single item is appropriately articulated and recorded. It is important as a small business that you separate yourself as an individual from the company, because the company in the eyes of the law is seen as a separate person, an independent entity. So you as a small business owner, albeit the owner and the visionary, you need to separate yourself. So ultimately you must become an employee of the company. You must determine for yourself what an appropriate salary is, and you must restrict yourself to that salary on a monthly basis. So every employee of the company must have a salary account, and at the end of every month, the company funds that salary account. It is important that you keep proper financial records. So we're talking about salaries and wages, we're talking about rent, we're talking about your raw materials, we're talking about your utilities and all of that. Now, you can ultimately hire an in-house accountant, but because of the size of your business, you will typically have to do this for yourself for a season. Then as your business expands and the business is able to accommodate the employment of a full-time accountant, then you can get one. In the interim, you can outsource the services. So there are a lot of smaller accounting firms that can provide accounting services. They help you keep your books, ensure that you have proper financial records, which must then be produced on a daily, on a weekly, and on a monthly basis. At the end of every month, your company must have financial statements. At the end of 12 months, your company must have annual financial statements, after which you invite an auditor to conduct an audit. It is important you start very early to keep your financial records in decent and a proper shape, so that when your business needs to expand and you want to invite external parties, be they banks or be they other investors, to provide cash into your business by way of a loan or by way of an investment, they will ultimately have to rely on the information contained inside of your financial statement. So that is why it is critical that you keep proper books of accounts. Ultimately, also, by keeping proper books of accounts, it helps you to track the progress your business is making from a week-to-week basis, from a month-to-month basis, and ultimately on a year-on-year basis. So you can compare how your revenues have grown between one year and the other, or between 1 month or the other. You can also track how your expenses have either grown or declined. So ultimately, keeping proper financial records helps you in terms of financial planning, so you can then be able to accurately project into the future based on the historical financial records. You can also determine which particular piece of financial information is most relevant to you. If you seek to build a profitable business, then your focus will largely be on the growth in profitability. If you seek to build a business that is largely efficient in terms of cost management and expense management, then you also want to, inside of your financial statement, be focusing on that. Ultimately, you need to keep tabs on this thing that we call working capital, because working capital is what will ultimately determine how well and how strongly you remain in business or you perform as a business. Ultimately, also, your cash flows are critical. It is said that cash is the very, very blood in the veins of a business. So for your business to do well, irrespective of how viable it is, if you do not have strong positive cash flows, then your business is likely to be in trouble. Final thing I would like to say on financial management, ladies and gentlemen, is you must be disciplined financially. You must be prudent. You must seek ways through which your company can set aside some reserves, so that your company has to have savings, your company has to have investments, no matter how small it is, even if it is 5% of your revenues or 1% of your revenues, as long as you set it aside and you invest it on a regular and consistent basis, it will serve as a critical buffer in the events of future downturn on account of some things that may happen in the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get zero COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME Zero COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
We are now in the Story of the Day segment, and our guest today is Mr. Noma Iguisi, the CEO of KGC Limited. Mr. Noma, welcome to Enterprise Stories.
Thank you, Mr. Wale.
Tell us a bit about KGC Limited.
Okay. KGC Limited is a company that was incorporated in Nigeria in the year 2007. We are into the production of natural rubber latex products, and these include the latex concentrates, the natural rubber latex industrial hand gloves, carpet compounds, and balloons.
Okay, this seems like a lot. I'm sure my listeners are getting very interested to learn a lot more about your story. Okay. So very quickly, maybe you want to share with us, how did you get into this line of business?
Okay, actually I was born in a place where the first rubber seedlings were planted in the whole of Africa. And before the age of 9, I started making football with natural rubber. And I studied industrial chemistry, and I felt there was a need to add value to one of our crops, which is the rubber tree, which is abundant in Nigeria. Now I saw how rubber was being tapped and sold cheaply as lumps, smelly lumps, and exported, and it is used in manufacturing other articles abroad and shipped back to Nigeria and sold back to us at very exorbitant prices. So I felt there was a need to add value to what we had, and I decided to go into the production of latex articles.
Okay, so tell us, at what point did you realize you could make a business out of this?
Well, after I graduated from school, I did work for the Rubber Research Institute of Nigeria. And while there, the little opportunities I had, I did research and development into all these articles, and I found out that we could actually add value of over 300% to these articles. So I started from there. But I left there after a couple of years and I set up my own company.
And how's the journey been so far?
It's been wonderful, Wale.
Okay, so share this wonderful journey with us.
Okay. Well, there is the National Board for Technology Incubation, which actually helps in commercializing research and development efforts. So after I left the Rubber Research Institute, I met with the management of the Technology Incubation Center Benin, and they gave me a space to incubate my ideas, and well, I had all the support, the research lab and other things that I needed to actually get my product to the commercialized level. And after that, I found out that I needed to be trained, and as God will have it, I saw because I'm a member of the SME 2K Club, and through the SME 2K Club, I got the opportunity to study entrepreneurial management at the Enterprise Development Center of the Pan-African University. This was the break I needed in my business because, I remember that day, my first day in class, we were asked what we felt we needed most in business, and everybody was like, finance, finance, finance. But after a week, we found out that what we needed actually wasn't finance. It was actually capacity building. It actually revolutionized my mindset and my business altogether. When I was coming in, I had a business that was making a turnover of less than 10 million. But as I speak, we are making that in less than a month. So, I finished from the Enterprise Development Center about 2 years ago. And I can tell you within these 2 years, my business has grown more than 15 times. That means over 1,500%. So it's really wonderful.
Fantastic. Have you ever had any reason, since we're talking about finance now, to go to any financial institution for funding?
Well, before I got here, I got the training from the EDC. I actually approached a couple of banks, and I was just starting. And banks usually they support people that have grown, to some extent. You have to prove to them that you have the capacity to pay back. So I didn't really get any funding opportunity from any bank. But as we speak, as I apply everything I was trained, the training I got from the EDC, as I was applying them, I found out that finance was not a problem at all. Right now I'm getting grants from the federal government and other agencies, and banks now are coming to me and say, come, we want to give you a loan, and I'm saying no. I don't want your money.
Yes, we do have, but there are some banks that do support people that are growing. Like Stanbic IBC, they support people that are growing. But anyway, manufacturing in Nigeria, as the case may be, the challenges we have with power and other things. How have you been able to progress through this kind of turbulence?
Well, fortunately for me, like I said, I actually have my production space at the Technology Incubation Center. The cost of electricity is borne by them, and we have constant to some extent constant electricity, and we have a standby generator. So for me, power is not too much of a challenge.
Okay. How about your manpower capacity? How many people are you employing, and how are you able to manage them?
Okay, before I came to EDC, to be honest with you, I had about 5 staff working for me, because you can check out the form I filled before coming here. But as we speak, I have over 20 people working for me, and it's been wonderful. Before the training, actually, I was just managing my business anyhow. People could come to the office 8:30, 9 o'clock, even when the resumption time was supposed to be 8 o'clock. But now by 7:30, all my staff, they resumed. There is a proper administrational structure as we speak, and it has helped us tremendously.
Fantastic. So, in closing your story today, maybe you want to share with the listeners what is the future for KGC Limited?
Well, the future is very bright for KGC. Like I mentioned before, we have gotten grants from the UWIN, Youth Enterprise with Innovation in Nigeria. NEFUND has supported us. Even we have been recognized, we have been given awards by several government agencies. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, we got the Merit Award from the Raw Material Research and Development Council. We also got award from the National Board for Technology Incubation, the most innovating product award I'm talking about. And we have also gotten some financial reward from all of this. So the future is bright because we are expanding. We're able to get some good millions from UWIN, and we have ordered equipment, and from next month, I believe, we're going to be operating to full capacity. So we are going places.
So the money it will increase from 1,500 to about 3,000%.
More than that.
Okay, I mean, this is all very good, and I'm sure that people listening would like to learn more about the success that you've made of yourself. So tell us a bit more about your products, the latex gloves and the concentrate, and how you're able to push it to the market.
Latex concentrates are gotten from the rubber tree, which is abundant in Nigeria. So we saw that there was the influx of the synthetic latex into the Nigerian market, and they were used in producing adhesives that were quite substandard. All over the world, there is a preference for organic materials. And we did this research, we came out with the latex concentrate, and we found out that it has a better adhesion when compared to the imported synthetic latex. So the carpet industries, the shoe manufacturing industries, and all the general purpose adhesive manufacturers, they found this product a wonderful one because it performs better than the synthetic latex. So we took samples to the carpet industries and the shoe industry, and they found out that it was better. So that was how it all began. And as we speak, the importation of synthetic latex has drastically reduced because tens of thousands of tons are being used by these companies every month. For the industrial hand gloves, we also found out that latex, which is a natural material, is a better product. It's a better raw material for making these gloves because they give better protection for the hands against caustic chemicals, acids, and so on. So there is the preference for these materials now because it has higher quality. It is even cheaper because we could get the raw material from our rubber tree, which is abundant here in Nigeria.
Yes.
So
basically, you are the only one right now in the market producing this quality of rubber latex gloves.
Yes, in the whole of Nigeria, we are the only manufacturers of natural rubber latex products.
That's very, very, very impressive. Okay, now in closing, I want you to just give or send a message to people that are thinking of venturing into production or manufacturing business.
Well, first and foremost, my advice is go and get adequate capacity building. I do not want to overflow this, but I know that there must be training, adequate training for you to be able to take your business to the next level. You might think you are doing very well, but once you are able to get that capacity building, then you will be amazed at how far you can grow your business. And I will recommend the Enterprise Development Center of Pan-African University, which has actually transformed my business, to you. And I tell you that you will come back smiling.
Thank you very much, Mr. Noma. You've heard it from him. Capacity building is very important. Regardless the expertise or skill you have, it's important for you to engage yourself in business management training to help you develop proper structures in your business. We'll be right back after this short break for the expert analysis.
When you are successful in your small business, as I am, people will always come to you. They want to know what you're doing differently, who your bankers are, and what kind of deals you are getting from them. Well, I'm happy to enjoy all the benefits of the SME0COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. My profit is up. But why? Because I get 0 COT, unlimited turnover, no limit on check lodgement or withdrawals, free internet and telephone banking, as well as discount on training courses for small business owners. With special benefits like that on the SME0COT account from Stanbic IBTC Bank. Now, there is no reason why your business won't boom just like mine.
Stanbic IBTC Bank, moving forward.
Bayo, you've heard the story of the rubber business. What's your take?
Thank you very much, Wale. We've just listened to Mr. Noma Iguisi, the CEO of KGC Limited. Now, his business is an interesting one. He focuses on the production of natural rubber. The interesting thing about Mr. Iguisi's business is that he did something that was critical. He looked at his environment, his immediate environment. Again, this is a lesson to most entrepreneurs. You need to carry out what we call an environmental scan. In looking at your immediate environment, you may actually just be able to spot critical opportunities that you can align your businesses towards. Now, Mr. Iguisi looked at his own environment and he saw significant opportunity in the processing and the production of natural rubber products. So again, very, very critical. First step, understand the environment in which you operate, identify the gaps, because ultimately for you to be successful as a small business owner, you need to seek to deliver or to add value. And one of the critical ways of adding value is to understand the areas of lack, the gaps in your environment, and then seek to provide products or services that feed into that particular need. Upon discovering this opportunity, he did the next best thing, which is to look for to seek education. So he went into to develop himself technically. He went to develop his technical knowledge. He picked up a degree in industrial chemistry. He picked up some relevant work experience. He went into the Rubber Research Institute. So again, another lesson: as you seek to become successful in your chosen paths, you need to develop the required technical skills. You also will be it will be beneficial if you had some work experience, relevant work experience. And as a result of his technical knowledge as well as his work experience at the Rubber Research Institute, he was also able to access critical industry information. He got to find out about a technical business incubation board, which is really a facility that seeks to support businesses by providing them with infrastructure, i.e. in terms of location for the factories, in terms of access to critical infrastructure such as power, in terms of networking, because you are operating in an environment that has other businesses, so you can learn from each other, you can exchange ideas, and so on and so forth. The critical teaching point here is you need knowledge, and you need information. So it is very, very important that for you to be successful in business, you need to pay particular attention to everything that concerns your industry in terms of research and development, in terms of innovation, in terms of new technologies and all of that. You need to seek to build capacity, and in addition to the technical knowledge he acquired, he also went to acquire business management skills, and as a result of that he could see a direct impact in his business. He saw his business grow, turnover grow by a factor of 1,500%, and that is remarkable by all standards. So critical lesson here is be proficient in what you do. Financing, like the gentleman said, is not the most critical challenge you face as a business. What is important is for you to create something of value. And once you create something of value, it unlocks financing. So Noma is in an enviable position today where financial institutions are practically chasing after him to collect their money. And he can pretty much pick and choose and take the best possible terms available. And that is something that is achievable by all business people. Critical thing, create value, and thereafter that will unlock financing. Final thing, human resource management critical. Have a system, have a structure, have processes so that your staff can deliver significant value. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bayo. Listeners, we've come to the end of the program for this week. Until next week, stay blessed. Join the International Finance Corporation, an enterprise development center of the Pan-African University, in celebrating 10 years of SME Toolkit in Nigeria. We will be celebrating with partners from over 40 countries on the 10th of April 2013. For registration and more information, please visit nigeria.smetoolkit.org. For questions and comments, please email edc@pau.edu.ng or log on to Enterprise Stories on nigeria.smetoolkit.org for useful resources and articles to help grow your business.